Hello guys, I'm Yadagiri and welcome to my channel HYR Tutorials. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can prioritize your test methods in TestNG. So these are the points I'm going to discuss, guys. So here first we will see what is a priority and why we need to use the priority, then how to define the priority. So after that, what is the default value of the priority and can we pass any negative values also to the priority? Then what happens if you are passing same priority to multiple methods? So these all are the points that we are going to discuss inside this video very clearly, guys. Okay. So please watch till the end of the video to get a clear understanding of how to prioritize your test and what exactly this priority concept is. Okay. So first we will see what is priority and why do we need to use the priority. So this first point is very important, guys, because if you want to understand this entire concept, right, first you should know what exactly this priority is and why we are using this. Okay. So if you take any concept, guys, not just TestNG, if you take any concept, you need to ask 3 questions to yourself. So those questions are, first thing is what, and next why, and next how. So these 3 questions you need to ask yourself, guys. Okay. So if you are learning anything, not only TestNG, either it is a Maven or Selenium or in general like car driving or say swimming or anything. Okay. So you need to ask yourself 3 questions. So those are what, why, and how. So here first we should know what exactly this priority is and then why we are using the priority, then how we are using the priority. Okay, how to use the priority. So after that, if there are any extra points that we need to discuss, those we are going to discuss. Okay, so that is why the first point is very important, guys. So to make you understand this first point very clearly, I'm going to show you one example. Then I will create one scenario so that you can understand the first point very clearly. Okay, so here first we will discuss about this point. So before going further, right, if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe the channel right now. And if you like the video, please hit the like button and also share this video with your friends. So after watching the video, if you feel like if you have any doubts or something, then you can mention those in the comment section below. Okay. So let's get started. So first thing is, what is a priority and why do we need to use the priority? Okay. So here I'm taking one test, guys. Okay, so in TestNG we are going to automate the test cases only. I mean, in our test automation, we are automating the test cases, right? So here I want to take one simple test. The test name is flight booking. Okay, so I want to book a flight from this makemytripwebsite.com. Okay, so first let me write down the test case name. The test case name is flight booking test. Okay, flight booking test is the test name. And what are the steps included inside this? So basically the test name is flight booking test and here I want to book one flight. Okay, so this is the high level. So what are the high level steps that are included? Okay, so here when I say high level steps, don't include, click on the from button, click on the to button, click on the search button, those like this. So just give high level steps. Okay, so what are the high level steps? First thing is I need to visit this website, obviously. And after that, I need to click on login. So if I want to book the flight, right, I cannot book without login. So I need to click on login. So if I want to log in, I should have already, added the credentials and all into this one. So that means I should have already created one account inside this. So as a test automation user, I might not have already a created account here. So what I will do, first I will create the account. After that, I will log into this one, right? So just consider like I have already created the account and I have already logged in. So after that, what we will do, we will click on the login, right? So once the login is completed, we will search for the flight. We will enter from details, to details and departure date and everything. Then we will search for the flight. Okay. So here I'm taking the default values and I click on search. So once the flight details are actually displayed here, we are going to book the flight, right? So we will see the prices and then we will book the flight. So just click on view prices and once you get the prices, you will book the flight. Okay. So once the flight is booked, you will get the ticket. You need to save the ticket and then you need to log out from the website. So these are the high level steps that you need to perform, right? So here, let me just note down all the steps here. So these are the steps that we are going to perform, right? So first sign in, then log in, first sign up, then log in, then search for the flight. After that, book the flight and after that, save the ticket, then log out. So these are the steps I want to perform, guys. Okay. So as these are the high level steps, I want to maintain one test method for each step. So I want to maintain one test method for sign up. I want to maintain one test method for login and similarly for search for the flight one test method and book the flight one test method, save the ticket one test method, log out is one more test method. Why I should actually maintain like that? Because if you divide the test methods like this, right, you can use these test methods for other purpose also. For suppose if I want to track or if I want to download the ticket again, so after booking, right, I will just log out and I want to download the ticket again. So what I will do, I need to again log in, right? So if the login test method is already created, I can simply use the test method. So I no need to create that code again, right? So that is why we need to distribute our code into multiple test methods basically, okay? So just consider I have already added all this code. For the time being, I have already added all this code, guys, okay? So flight booking test is the class name and I have added each and every test method here. And inside the test method, I am not using any Selenium code, guys, okay? For the time being, I am not using any Selenium code. I have simply created the sysout statement here because we want to see how the order is actually, right? So when we execute the test, which order it is actually following, that we want to see first, okay? So that is why I have given the sysout statements. So now let's execute this. So if you observe one thing, right, inside this class, I have created these test methods in the specific order, okay? So if you see, first step is sign up, right? So I have added sign up first, then login is the next one. So I have added the login here, then search for the flight. So search for the flight is there, then book the flight, then save the ticket, then log out. So I have actually followed the order and I have added the test methods to this class. So if I execute this class, what should happen? All the steps should be executed sequentially like this, right? First sign up should happen, then login, then search for the flight. So let's execute and see. So the execution is completed and here it shows test runs are 6. That is because the test methods are 6 here. So that is why test runs are 6. So if you see here, the order that we added and the order it is actually executed is completely different, okay? So if something is printing in the console, that means that method is called first, right? So here book the flight is printed first. That means directly without executing all these methods, it directly jumped to this method, guys, okay? So first this method is executed, after that login method is executed, and after that logout method is executed, okay? So what order it is actually picking? So it is coming to this point and then it is going upside and then it is going again downside. So what exactly this order is? It is directly jumping from one method to another method, right? It is not following the order that we have added here, okay? So I have added sign up first, but sign up is not executed in the starting, okay? Book the flight is actually executed. Sign up is executed in the last, but I have added this one in the first place, right? What exactly this order? How TestNG is picking this order? So that you need to first understand, right? So if you understand this concept, then we need to understand why we need to prioritize this one, right? So TestNG internally picks the ASCII order, guys, okay? So it will not see in which order you have added the methods, okay? It doesn't care in which order you have added the methods. So here I have added the sign up as in the first place, but it doesn't matter, okay? Because TestNG internally identifies these methods based on the ASCII order. So what exactly this ASCII order is? So every character in our keyboard, okay, every character that we use has one ASCII value. So let's say here I have created one method, right? So this method name is having some alphabets like S, I, G, N, U, P. So all these alphabets are going to have some ASCII value, okay? So based on that ASCII value only, it is going to execute the test methods, okay? So how it will pick that ASCII value? So I mean, if you want to understand more about the ASCII code, right? So you can just go to any website, okay? Just simply type in the Google like ASCII table or ASCII codes and you will get so many websites, guys. You can open any website. So here I have just opened techonthenet.com, okay? So here you can see this decimal value is there, right? This is the ASCII value basically, okay? So for @ character, ASCII value is 64. For capital A, the ASCII value is 65. And for small a, the ASCII value is 97. So like that, for every special character, for everything, you have a ASCII value, okay? So you see, for every special character also, the ASCII values are there. So based on this ASCII values only, the execution will happen. So how it will be picked? So I mean, you might be having a doubt, right? So it will consider all these ASCII values and it will count and then it will take the order, or how it will be done. So basically, it will first take the first character ASCII value, then it will verify, guys, okay? So for suppose here, inside this class, for all the first letters, it will take the ASCII value, okay? So book the flight, B is the lowest ASCII value, right? So lowest ASCII values will be executed first. So capital B is having 66 as the ASCII value. So first it will be picked, okay? So after that L will come, right? So inside the L also there are actually two methods. So when the first letter is actually same, it will go to the next letter to check the ASCII value. Even if the next letter is also same, then it will go to the next letter. Like that it will keep on continuing. Okay. So here if you see, first L is there, so it is same. Then O is there, it is also same. Then G is there, it is also same. Then I and O. So inside this I and O, I comes first, right? So that is why login is executed first. Then log out. Then here all the methods are starting with S only. Save the ticket, search for the flight and sign up. So out of all these methods, after S, A is there. So this is the first one. Here E is there. So this is the second one. See here I is there. So that is why this is the third one. So TestNG internally identifies these methods based on the ASCII order. Okay. So that is why these methods are actually executed in this process. Just imagine if you have already added the Selenium related code here, what happens? In the book the flight test method itself, the test will get failed because even without logging in, actually you are trying to book the flight. So which is an invalid case, right? So you don't have the book now button also available there. So obviously the test method will get failed. Just to show you how the order is actually executed, I have used like this, guys. Okay. So with this sysout statements, you can see what is the order that is actually executed. If I use the Selenium code here, it will keep on giving me the exceptions. So I cannot explain this concept very clearly for you. So now this is the concept, guys. So this is the reason we need to use the priority. So by default, TestNG doesn't follow the order, but I want to execute my test methods in the specific order. So if I execute like this, it is waste of time, right? So that is why I need to maintain the order while execution. But how do I maintain the order? I need to prioritize my test methods. Okay. So this point I have already covered in one of my previous video, guys. So if you want to execute your test methods in order, there is one more approach. There are actually two approaches. One is using the prioritization concept and the other approach is using the TestNG XML file with all these test method names like this. So if you create the TestNG XML file, so you will pick the class name and inside the class name you have something called methods tag. So inside the methods you are going to define the methods, right? So if you define the methods in the proper order that you want to execute, then it is going to pick the same order. But there is also one more point here, guys. So we have something called, maintain the order. One parameter name will be there. Okay. So if you set that parameter to false, obviously this order also will not be maintained. And also one more thing is, if I have 20 test methods inside this class and I want to execute all the 20 test methods, then I don't need to write all the methods like this, right? It's a waste of time and waste of space also. So what I will do, I'll simply write like this. Okay. I'll simply mention the class name. So when I mention the class name, all the test methods inside the class will be picked, right? So if all the test methods are picking, again, it will follow the ASCII order only. Okay. So let me show you from this TestNG XML file also. So here I have mentioned flight booking test as the class name and I'm not mentioning any methods here. So let me run this. So you see, so the same order it is following, but this is not the order I want. Okay. I want the test case to be executed in this order. So how do I do that? For that, you need to use the prioritization concept. Okay. So now you understood, right? Why we need to use the prioritization? Because TestNG internally doesn't follow the test case order that we have mentioned. Okay. This test method order that we have mentioned. So that is the reason we need to maintain one explicit concept called prioritization to maintain the order. Fine. So next, what is priority? Priority is a parameter inside the test annotation. Okay. Priority is a parameter inside the test annotation. So for every test method, we have the test annotation, right? So obviously, if you have the test method, if you have the test annotation, then only we call that as a test method. So inside the test annotation, we have a parameter called priority. So using that priority, we are going to set the order here. Okay. So how do we set the order? So next thing is how to define the priority. So that we will see. So how to define means we need to use that priority parameter inside the TestNG annotation and we need to specify the priority further. So I'm going to write the priority parameter here. So this priority accepts the integer values. So you need to specify the priority. So let me take this one as 1. So like this, you need to define the priority, guys. So let me just add this one quickly to all the methods. And now I will specify the priority. So this is the 6th priority and this is 5 and this is 4 and this is 3 and this is 2 and this is 1. So this is the order I want to execute, right? So whatever is having the least value, that will be executed first. Okay. So priority 1 means this will be executed first, priority 2 means this will be executed next to this one, next to this one. So like that it will keep on going. Okay. So now let me just quickly execute this and show you like how it is actually executed. Okay. So execution is completed. Now you can see first sign up happened, then log in, then search for the flight, then book the flight, then save the ticket, then log out. So this is the order I want to execute. Now the order is properly maintained, right? So this is what I want actually. So if you want to prioritize your test methods, you need to use the priority concept here. So you need to add one priority parameter to the test annotation, and you need to set the priority here. So that is the concept, guys. Now you understood, right? So what exactly priority is and how do we need to use the priority and how to define the priority, everything you understood, right? So next we will discuss about this rest of the points, guys. Okay. So because we have covered these points, I hope you understood the prioritization concept now. So now we are going to discuss something advanced inside that one. Okay. Some extra points you can consider, because these are the points that are asked inside the interview, guys. Okay. So that's why I want to cover these points also. So next thing is, what is the default value of the priority? That means, for suppose if I don't mention the priority here, what happens? Which priority it is going to pick? So for every test annotation, I have added the priority for the rest of the test annotations. But for the first one, I did not add the priority, right? So in this scenario, what happens? What is the default priority value it is going to pick? So the default priority value is going to be 0. So let me show you that. So just go to this priority and click on F3 in the Eclipse, or just right click on this and go to open declaration. So here you can see, so this test class is open, right? Test.class. Inside this, we have the priority parameter. So for the priority parameter, what is the value, default value it is mentioned? The default value is 0. So this priority we are going to use for the scheduling purpose. Lower priorities will be executed first. Okay. And the default value of the priority will be 0. So if I don't mention the priority here, internally it will assign the priority as 0. So let me execute this. Because it is 0, it will be picked first, right? So if I if I remove the priority from here and if I add the priority here, okay, let me just add it here. So let me make this one as 1, and this one I have removed the priority. So this one is going to have the priority as 0 now internally, right? So let me execute this. So now you see, first login happened, after that sign up is trying to happen. Okay. Why it is like that? Because login is having the 0 priority here internally, and next 1 comes, right? But this is not how we want. Okay. Here I'm just showing you the example, guys. So if you don't mention the priority anywhere, the default priority that is going to pick is 0. So this one I'll just write it as 0. So next point is, can we pass negative values to the priority? So here we have passed all the positive values only inside this one, right? So this 1, 0 and 3, 4, 5, all these are actually positive values. So can we pass negative values also to the priority? Yes, we can pass. Okay. So here if I make this one as -1, it is not throwing me any error here, right? So why it is like that? So first let me execute this, then I will explain. So there is no exception and the test execution is completed and it is executing properly. Okay. Sign up actually picked first. That is because it is -1. -1 is lesser than the 0 value, right? So this one is having the priority as 0 and here the -1 priority is there. So -1 is actually lesser than the 0. So that is why this is actually executing first. Okay. So now we got the answer, that is yes. Can we pass the negative values to the priority? Yes. And why we are able to pass the negative values? That the doubt you may be having, right? So here we are passing the negative values because the priority is actually an integer value. Okay. So if you look at here, this priority is an integer value. So what is the integer value range? So integer value range is -2 power 31 to +2 power 31, right? So -2 power 31 to 2 power 31 minus 1. So this is the integer value range, guys. Okay. So that means integer is also accepting the minus values also. So that's why you are able to use the minus values also here. Okay. Minus means negative values. Fine. And after that, what happens when the same priority is provided to multiple methods? So if you are providing same priority, for suppose here I'm using 3 priority here and I'll use 3 priority here also. What happens in this scenario? So here we are not going to get any exception, guys. you can use the same priority to multiple test methods also. It is not going to throw any exception or any error for you. But when you use it like this, inside this priority, first it will try to identify how many methods are there. Then out of all those methods, again the ASCII order will be followed. Okay, if you remember, right? So in the first, what I did, I haven't used the priority concept itself here, and I have executed all the test methods. But internally, even though you did not provide the priority here, internally it is going to assign the 0 priority only, right? So without priority, you cannot execute any test method. But if you don't specify the priority, TestNG will specify the priority internally. Okay. So when all the test methods are having the 0 priority, what happened? The ASCII order is followed, right? So similarly, if I use that priority, same priority to multiple methods here also with any digit, it is going to pick the ASCII order between those two priorities. I mean, those two methods basically. Okay. So here now if I execute this, so book the flight should be executed first because the ASCII order book the flight will come first. Okay. So if you see here, first this one is completed, then login one is completed. After that, book the flight came. Okay. After that only search for the flight executed. So that means even between these two methods with this priority 3, there are two methods. In these two methods, it will follow the ASCII order, and based on the ASCII order, book the flight will come first place. Okay. So that's why it is executing like this. So now you understood, right? So these are the interview questions, guys. So these are the questions that are asked in many interviews, I can see. So now you got all the details about this prioritization concept, right? So let me summarize one more time. So if you are not using the priority, then by default TestNG will follow the ASCII order. Okay. So to avoid that, we are going to use the priority. So if you want to execute your test methods in a specific order, then you need to use the priority concept. Then how to define the priority? So to define the priority, you need to use the priority parameter inside the TestNG annotation. Test annotation. Okay. So next, can we pass the negative values to the priority? Yes, we can pass the negative values also to the priority because priority accepts the integer value, and in integer value, we can pass the negative values also. And what is the default value of the priority means? The default value of the priority is 0. And what happens when the same priority is provided to multiple methods? So if the same priority is provided to multiple methods, then internally it will follow the ASCII order between those methods. So this is the concept, guys. I hope you understand the concept. So if you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.